opaque. And,
Logan?
well, now they're driving on it, but I don't know that the
everyone
surface is prepared for it.
That's $3 an expense we didn't need right now.
Well, yeah.
That was gonna be totally redone, repaid, all that we want to make it.
Well, see, that's the question.
Yeah.
Whether you got to regrade it, and
If
then
it's like
compact
one-
it, and then put
John,
stuff on it. So,
here, I need to talk with
oh,
CTS stuff.
well, just coordinating.
Okay, just so we're on the same page.
I'm
Cool.
just looking out here too, we're gonna have an issue next week if we talk.
So you said they're gonna start this too?
I mean, they're gonna have an issue.
They want to come out
Well, they're
Tuesday.
gonna be parking there, they could be.
They
done.
won't. No,
We'll
we're
have to
Wednesday,
let
they're
the rope
talking
it off.
about
right.
doing-
Yeah, they,
Some people just drive right through the road.
well, we're not gonna let them do that. We got cameras.
Laying out here, so
We got cameras for that reason. No, we'll come out here and chase them off. It's gonna be clear that it's like this is a
You know how
new.
people
No,
are.
but.
Yeah, but
this
we ain't gonna
Saturday,
let 'em.
We've got our main safety meeting,
We can
so if we need to push it,
This
we
many
need to push
cars
it back, we
over
can.
there, they're not
I
gonna.
think it'll be done.
No, I know, but that's,
I
you
just need
know,
to ask them about this rain, that's the only thing that's got me concerned.
they're just gonna have to manage that.
And are they painting new lines as well?
Yeah.
White.
Yeah.
Go to camp.
I was hoping they were green, but
White.
Well, we can make them colorful.
No white.
We have a
We can repaint
section
them?
and a yellow
Yeah,
section
you
and-
could.
Oh.
you could do
That
that.
way you know where you park your car, like by Pole B.
That's true. It's like, right, you can see it, but we gotta remember it. All right, who's gonna pray?
You know what I mean?
John? Oh, John.
So you first.
That looks good though.
John wants to.
John wants to?
Yeah. You're a good man.
Okay, let's let John do it.
Like I said, you first. Lord, we thank you for this time. God, we ask for your wisdom, your direction. We pray that you would guide us. Thank you for everything you've done and everything that you've given. It's in your name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, what's the agenda for today? What do we got?
Mother's Day.
Mother. Who you calling mother?
I'd like to recap Easter.
Yeah, agreed.
Talk about June.
Easter. Your mother. June. What else? Not to Edison. Yeah, we had such an awesome week last week. Sort of hard. This is like a nothing week. It just feels like RLI. Come on, dude. You're gonna have to work on it.
RLI comes in that one day with our training thing that we've got coming up.
Oh yeah. EMI.
EMI.
Forgot.
I and N.
Yeah, you're right. That close. He was close. I'll give you
Yeah,
credit.
that's the bottom line.
I'll give you 5 out of 50 out of 100. What else?
Cool.
Anything else there? Going once? I mean, it doesn't have to be. There's a kids meeting today.
Is there?
Hmm?
Is there a kid meeting?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
After this meeting.
Yabba dabba do. What do they? You guys start at 10?
Tara said probably 10:30-ish.
Okay.
So I know Angie and I are planning on being there. Dan replied, said that he can make it. Kat said that she has to work, but as soon as she gets off work, she's gonna try to get here as
Okay.
soon as she can. So,
Cool.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that
sit in.
sounds promising.
Just to hang and listen.
Sweet.
Anything on the schedule? I'm gonna do John's honors. What day is it? Hump day. Right?
Yay!
I'm gonna follow his tradition.
Really?
Ba-boom.
That's right.
Ba-boom.
Dude, don't be.
Dude, just look at it.
So what else? Anything else?
Who did that? Did you have your little graphics guy do that? Don't be telling him to do video animation stuff.
It's
That's
just
my
for the
job.
Instagram.
Ooh, I know what else.
John.
Videos.
Gosh.
Oh yeah.
Videos.
That's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be real good.
You guys got an Embrace meeting on the calendar?
Not
Today.
yet.
Today?
I guess we can talk about it.
Embrace Teams meeting today? Awesome.
Oh, that.
Yeah, but, eventually we gotta talk about the Embrace thing too. Embrace, because, I got some comments about.
I want to talk about maybe temporary signage, like you and I talked about.
Uh-huh.
Possible.
Okay. That's probably enough for today. Cool. Nobody's here to do the Easter debrief. What's up with that? We're gonna have to start dinging people. It's like, if you're not here, you don't get a vote. But it's cool, because there's so many good things that happen.
Yeah.
So let's start with that, since that is such a great up thing. Easter recap.
Well done.
Anybody go?
I mean, I thought it went great. I thought it was, I liked the whole package, not just Easter
Agreed.
Sunday,
There
but
wasn't
the
a-
whole thing. I thought the early bird morning sunrise service went awesome. It was a really good turnout for
Yeah.
what it was.
I was impressed by the turnout.
I genuinely tried. I will say that. I tried to get up. I set my alarm
You
for
like rolled from your left side to your right side.
basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that was my effort.
I set my alarm for 6:30. You know, so
I thought all the topics flowed together well, even though we didn't necessarily talk about what we were gonna do on each individual night.
Yeah.
I thought they all flowed together real well.
Right.
Probably the redeemed topic is probably what did that.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take credit for that one.
Just kidding. Dude.
No, but
You're funny.
But yeah, the whole package, the Good Friday worship night into the sunrise service
That
into
was
the
perfect.
regular service, I felt like the whole thing.
Yeah, the package was really good.
Really,
And so, yeah, even if this was the first time you experienced it, you're like, okay, so yeah, I can hang with the whole thing now.
Right.
And that makes it, a week plus a day every year is a big deal.
Oh yeah, that's gonna. I think we
That's a
continue
big
to do
deal.
that.
Yeah.
Like do Palm Sunday, something special there, and then
Uh-huh.
have a whole weekend to look forward to. Good Friday, Sunday.
Yeah,
service.
theme it,
Which-
promote it.
I would like to see on next year, if possible. I'd like to do something for the kids on a
Interesting.
Saturday. I think we should do a Good Friday worship night, and then a Saturday do like I think an Easter egg hunt. It doesn't have to be like a huge like helicopter drop, but I think
Thank
just
you.
something for the like community
Well, we
would be
have
cool.
done
15 draw.
we have done like an Easter egg thing on Saturday before, and it's always gone really well.
Yeah.
I think we should.
Yeah,
I mean, we
Little
got
just
games and stuff like that in the lobby for the kids.
It's
and-
not very spiritual, but we did it. I'm gonna poke that
we can
bear
sneak-
until it
We
dies.
can sneak the Easter Bunny in.
That's what I'm hoping by next year.
That's
It's
right,
like,
oh God.
it won't
Easter
even
bunny.
like be an issue.
We have to break that thing down. We
Yeah.
just gotta do it.
I think it should.
Because the first time I experienced it, Steve really did it.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, we're gonna talk about Jesus Christ and accepting Jesus. I mean, he didn't. It wasn't like we worshiped the Easter bunny.
I think Shelley was dressed in the Easter Bunny costume,
Okay,
and that's when someone stood up and rebuked them.
yeah, that was Ted. That would be Ted, right? But I mean, they were doing. I mean, I experienced altar calls for those little guys. And so they'd go in the sanctuary and they'd all sit around and somebody would tell a story and somebody would say, hey, if you guys want to accept you, I don't get it, man. So yes, I agree. More for the kids next year
Yeah.
would be outstanding.
Yeah. I think
What else would we improve? Anything?
Well, I think we still had a little bit of hiccup on communications and timing of things, which we're always gonna have, but for the most part, like, well,
Okay.
I think we just need to get a few more hands involved in behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
That was, it ended up being a very busy week for Tara, and I'm not sure we supported her very well on all that stuff.
She sucks it up.
Yeah, but still,
No, I know. I'm kidding. It's a little tongue in cheek, but
I know.
I think it's one of the best we've done
I think that's right.
so far.
And where I judged whether it's successful or not is people didn't want to leave Sunday.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and people showed up at 7 o'clock. It was like,
They hung out.
and they owned it. And that was, so now that was from 7 a.m. until 1:30 or 2. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a long day.
That was fun.
It didn't feel. I was kind of running around setting up computer stuff and things like that in between the sunrise service and the normal service.
Yep.
But it didn't feel like there was a lot of people just sitting around staring at walls waiting for the next thing to happen. It felt
No.
like from the time
I
sunrise
picked
service
up extra
started,
people in the Sunday school class.
Right.
People that are here.
'Cause they were here.
In the Sunday school class, and they participated, and
But it
Wow.
felt like from sunrise and breakfast into the class, right back into the main service, that everything, there was a
There was
lot
ample
going on
time.
and there wasn't a lot of stuff and people just like, well, nobody's
No,
gonna
that's
be back
right.
for the next
Like,
40 minutes.
nobody's looking at the clock. really.
Yeah.
No, I love the breakfast.
Except going in, class time, guys, let's go.
I know you had to drag them in, but the breakfast worked good. I noticed some people invited more of their family for the breakfast, so the garage. I mean, we got to see some people that we don't ever get to see. That was the other amazing thing of the event, but we should know this about Easter. We saw people we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
You know, Gerald, the Johnsons came, the kids came, Gerald came.
Trindle's older brother
Uh-huh.
came.
He came with mom. Yes, Easter is always going to be that opportunity. People remember. It's like, oh yeah, I do need to go to church.
It felt like the flow of the lobby was less congested too. Having the food on the one side, the Photoshop
Yeah, that's a good point.
booth on the other side, and the couches set up for people to sit. It felt like the main lobby piece didn't feel so congested and
And it seemed like food and all was just about the right amounts. Didn't look like we
Yeah.
had massive amounts left over.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just thought it all fell together very well.
Yeah, it did work out.
so I would suggest that going forward, we look at kind of laying the lobby out like that for all of our big events, even with Mother's Day coming up and stuff, we're gonna have something,
Yep.
lay out the lobby that same way, just to kind of help spread people out a little bit and.
Yeah, I like that. Since we got a big lobby and there's places we aren't using. So yeah, I agree with you. That felt good. And I almost walked away feeling like let's leave the couches out there. I mean that little square area is pretty comfy. I don't know.
I vote for that. I think they're being wasted just sitting back in the
Yeah,
youth
I
room. I mean,
Yeah, and we always get more if we need them or something. So
well, I think, I don't know who I was talking to, but I mean, we're talking about switching that to more of a junior high thing anyway, so
yeah,
we're probably gonna redo that room and the decor in that room, so
cool.
use the couches somewhere else, and then we'll just figure out what we're gonna do in that room once we get to that point.
Okay. The other thing we talked about over where the flower wall is now was a seating area similar to the one in the front. So a couple of high tables or something over there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm good with being more creative about using that space.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with that. What else? Anything else?
I felt like the service itself was
Perfect.
unique enough, it felt different enough without us having to go and like do, you know, big skits and dramas and everything else. And it felt, with the extra videos and things like that, it felt different, but at the same time, I think a little easier to manage.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. Given where we are, yeah, we couldn't do a big production. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
And the test was it memorable, right? Would people say, I don't remember that. I think it passed that test.
I agree.
I think the videos were a huge part of it.
Very
I think this idea of people's stories, that's gonna build momentum that we can't even imagine. I think that's just gonna take off like crazy.
300.
Oh no, that's the like people reach. The views is like
Oh,
400. I
is
think.
it up to 400?
Yeah.
So,
the one video of your mom.
yeah, I mean,
It's got like over 400 views on it already.
oh yeah, I mean, Joanne wouldn't let hers go out,
Well,
right?
I texted her the next day, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Can I
It's out
seriously not
Yeah,
put your stuff on
seriously.
YouTube with a little tear face?"
Uh,
And then she replied back, "Ha ha ha, yeah, you can." So I actually put it on. It's on our YouTube.
oh, is
channel.
it good?
Yeah.
So let's keep tracking it. But those
435.
those stories, and so now we got people that want to do it. There are a couple people I walked up to them and said, "You need to do one. You just need to do one. You got to tell your story." Nancy's one of them. Levon's another one.
Yeah.
So there's 3, 4, 5 people that,
No,
depending on the
Stevensons.
topic, huh?
Now we have the Stevensons that want to do one.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like now all of a sudden, Mother's Day, Father's Day, those events, I wouldn't program it, but I'd certainly have those things available
Mhm.
to start telling people's story. And the other thing that really becomes a unique thing for our churches, Suppose we had a page with videos and, you know, instead of pictures, well, here's Pastor Steve. You know, there's a video that tells your story.
Mm-hmm.
Here's something about me you might not know, but it's an important thing about how God has worked in my life. I mean, I just, that blows my mind.
It's
We've
like the
got
YouTube channel,
on our, let me,
the testimonials. We can start linking that page.
I mean, that would be I just think that would be cool. I mean, you dial up Mike. I know Mike. I see him on Sunday, but let me understand something about his story. Where'd he come from?
Mm-hmm.
It's all blank.
No, it's not. I know better than that. You have some surprising background, and that's the trick. There people have backgrounds that would just blow you away.
yeah, on our YouTube channel, one of the things that we have done is you can see kind of how we do the standard layout for a Sunday morning service.
Yes.
But then for the stories, we've got this separate kind of layout.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're scrolling through, they kind of separates those out. So there's Joanne's and let's see, there's Nancy's right there when she gave her testimony.
Got it. Yeah, beautiful.
Um,
I love those.
And you can go to the playlist
There's-
as well.
There's when
As well.
Will. Yeah.
So-
No, beautiful.
and then I think we've got you know what, I forgot to add verse 2 that.
I added it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you go to the playlist too, we've got the testimonial
I forgot
playlist.
that, Nancy.
And we've
Good.
got-
Oh, who knew that?
So, and that's one of the other things too on here, just a side note, we've been creating playlists for each series.
Yeah.
So, you know, if somebody wants to watch a particular series, if you click it, it's got all the videos for that particular teaching series in there.
She's here. Why are you tiptoeing? You just made yourself obvious. Oh, stop. You can sit right there. Right there.
Here?
No,
Here.
they at least need to see the back of your head.
Oh, that's cute.
No, I love the idea. We have to then make it easier for people to get to it, because we still have so many people that come in and, you know, are they likely to go to YouTube at first? Probably not, but we need some way to really make it handy so they can get to it and sort of get blessed by it. And I think the other thing that would actually create a following is the young people doing it. So like, who's Logan? Tell me something about Caleb. What about Dustin? And I think younger people would, well, maybe not Caleb.
I'm way too interesting to do that.
You definitely are interesting.
He now that was a balloon that went up, right? So now we take the shotgun, right? Pull! This is what guys do, and you're setting yourself up. But it really would be cool to see a team page of some type. Here's the people that are, you know, this is Sozo. This is who Sozo is. But just quick, you know, who is this guy? What is he about? What does he care about? What's his passion? When we talk about June, we're going to carry that theme, and it's going to be voices. When did you get your voice? What is your voice? And what is it? What does God talk to you about? You know, it's that kind of thing. So it's encouraging people to be those living letters, and starting to help people understand what story are you telling.
Right.
I just think it's got legs, and it can create in a community environment. It can really connect people to individuals, because that's the other thing people say about this church is it's not this big impersonal place, right? I can actually get to know Angie, and I can laugh with her, and I can hear her story, which is the beauty of a smaller church. Now, we don't want to be 10 people, but we don't want to be 3,000 necessarily. So I don't know.
At least not one service.
It's not, yeah. I mean, I'm good if it grows to that. I'm fine with it. But even there, we'd have to keep it real. We'd
Yeah,
have
how do you
to
keep that personal
Right.
It
touch,
would,
you know,
right.
something like that?
We'd have to.
I've heard about that so much more lately. Like, people are leaving. Like, one of my buddies who visited on Palm Sunday was saying that he used to go to Rivers Crossing, but like, it's become so impersonal, and like,
Yeah.
it's hard to like connect with anyone, and like,
Well, that's where that Embrace team is going to be. So
For
vital.
sure.
That's important.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Super important.
yeah.
And so the task for them at some point is going to be, how do we grow and keep this real?
Right.
And help us do it. And I think it is deploying, different people. It can't just be me, right? It's got to be people that are then deployed to help keep the connections and love on people, and then they get to know you. I mean, it's just it really elevates the church to a place where now we need more leaders.
Right.
Now we need more people that are really to get in there and focus on it. So anyway, any other thoughts about Easter Sunday? It's clearly a massive hit from my perspective. It was a great team effort, and man, you
Any
couldn't.
thoughts on Easter, things that you saw that maybe we should do different?
No, I loved Easter. I thought it was great. Thought it was not super hyped,
Right.
low key,
Right.
but perfect.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a big show.
That's
It
what
really does.
And
Yeah, that
That's
felt
what we
really good
learned.
to me that it wasn't a big show.
right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like that's what churches have done so much.
They
in the
have.
past, is like this production, which I feel like we're in a stage where it's like I just want to experience God and like have it, like you said, be low key, like not feel pressured and like you have to go to this big production.
Perform.
Right.
Performance.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great. I think we agree.
Was there, would you want to take this example and maybe pick something like 3 months, 4 months down the road and try to do it again around a topic or a holiday or something?
I love the organic nature of it. And yes, I think if we keep the heart of it, we'll keep it that way. If our heart really is that we want it real, we want it intimate, we want it personal, then we'll frame most things that way, and we'll challenge ourselves to, okay, so can we really do it? Is that just a performance? Do we, it will challenge ourselves. So I think it's more important to keep the heart of it and then the structure, because I think that's what organic is. Organic is, I already know what I'm trying to accomplish. Now, within that, there's lots of creativity about how I do it. And the creativity then comes from ideas from people. Does that make sense? And so you don't program that. You just say, okay, what do we got? Well, we got Mother's Day. So what's our heart for Mother's Day? And what kind of ideas, personal connections can we make? I think it's how we think about it. Is that fair? I do believe that there are points of excellence that we need to keep track of. And I think when you talk about communication, that's one of them. Pre-planning, that's another one. But this is the container for pre-planning, right? So we're acting it out and we're saying, no, we got to meet regularly enough and be focused enough to actually do it well and talk through it. So I'm pretty confident those next events will be like that. Now, what I do like about what you said, though, is what are the key events, right?
Yeah, like I didn't know if you wanted to take this and like maybe do like around Thanksgiving or something.
Yeah, that's the question.
You've already kind of got a Christmas program, but whether you want to go that way with it, or, just. 'cause
So
this is
what's
a little
the
bit
next
bigger than
one?
Just the day kind of thing.
Oh, that's a great thought.
That's
And-
why I'm trying to, it'd be nice around Memorial time, but that's too short of a notice to get anything done.
Yeah,
And I'm trying to think what's in between that can tie in, whether it's back to school kind of a thing,
good question.
just kind of take that format and try to fit it in with whatever the season is to
Uh-huh.
see what happens.
No, I get that. So these big anchor events that really are where we pour this idea into it.
Right,
I get that.
because I think the worship night, I would almost like to see that as a monthly thing.
That's what we were
I
thinking.
know that's putting a lot of pressure on them guys, but
Yeah.
I just think that's such a big thing for us just getting together, just to
Mm-hmm.
raise our hands and stomp our feet.
Yeah.
The songs they did on Friday night were better than the songs they did on Sunday. I will say that. I had a hard time following along with some of those songs on Sunday.
See, I was the opposite. I was
Really?
not. Yeah.
Yeah,
There-
I
there's
didn't
just
know
so
the
many
songs,
slow
but the
songs
songs they sang
on Good
on
Friday.
Friday, yeah, on Good Friday were like
Everyone, yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't make that distinction.
I
But
did.
cool. Yeah, people are different,
But I'm
right?
worship's like my jam. I
Yeah,
got, I,
But
yeah,
it was
I
so
come to church
nice
for
being
good
worship.
with that.
Being at work and being able to listen to it
Yeah.
when you guys are showing it live. It was
Good.
so nice being able to do that, because at least I felt like I'd still hear,
No, I get that.
it's still part of it. And for me, that was a new experience, and I hadn't done that with the things we've done.
Mhm.
So one of the things we have to do is message that into why this is different. When other pastors come to me and say, hey, what you guys are doing on social media is just blowing us away kind of thing. I'm like, really? What? But it says that we haven't really communicated it enough to the people that would want it for them to say, well, that's different. Well, that's different. Plenty of people are doing social media, but to your point, are we really, how many of them are promoting and and casting, events so people that aren't here can actually be part of it.
Not many.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, everybody's talking about it.
There's
but-
a good few, and they're all like I wouldn't say mainstream churches, but they're not a mega church, but they're also not like smaller.
Got
Like
it.
they're kind of in like a spotlight, I guess, because of their online presence. Because they live stream their services
Okay.
and put up videos every week. And
Yeah.
they're constantly posting online. Like there's a church called Transformation Church in Tulsa,
Yep.
and they live stream every service, and they have like 4 or 5 services.
Okay.
And then Mosaic, I mean, they're massive because of their online presence. And then they have like a worship team that also like tours and stuff. So they're like constantly online and being
And in front of people.
shown to the world. So
I think
Mosaic's online presence is bigger than their physical
it's
presence.
it's
it's
insane.
interesting. It's
It
weird.
is insane.
Well, so I mean, these are the kinds of things that people should know. Of a church, for a church our size to be doing what we're doing. One of my taglines would be, for a church our size to be doing what we're doing, it's a big deal because we're engaging people and we're trying to engage people with the technology, but we're also small enough that you can actually get to know us.
Right.
So, from a marketing standpoint, I think we will need to get into a place where we're marketing what is Sozo? Why is it different? It's more the link phase, because now you're really reaching out into the community and reaching out into people's lives. But it's coming, and I think it's going to be an important part of what we do. So, it's good stuff. What else? Anything else about Easter besides it was an awesome time? Going once? Going twice? Sold. All right, and there's just some ideas about next time. Your mother. Or I should say your mama.
Or Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Oh.
You
I
did that?
thought you were talking about your mom since she did like
No,
a video.
no. And that's the other thing. She's like, I don't want to put my video up. And then Logan asked
And
her.
I
he's
texted
like,
her
oh,
and she was
sure.
like, yeah, absolutely. I was
Um,
like,
That's exactly what
that's
Joanne
because
was.
kids aren't as cool as grandmas
I
are,
was like,
or
I was like,
grandchildren.
love you. And she's like,
Yeah, she couldn't say no. It's
Grandchildren
like,
are cooler
I'm gonna
Yeah, my
break her
parents
over
said
the
no and
balls.
spanked me all the time, but grandkids don't
she
get
said,
that.
okay, anything
I
you say.
roll. It's like, yeah, whatever. So that's good. But those are promos too for the church, so I think that's important.
Mhm.
So your mama.
How many weeks away is Mother's Day?
Mother's Day.
2,
Yeah, that was pretty quick.
yeah,
Is that the
12.
word for it
12th of
actually?
May.
No.
Oh.
I love
No.
Yeah. My dad would say Joe. How's Joe? And I'd say Joe.
Joe Mama.
Joe Mama.
Joe Mama.
Yeah.
it. We could do Joe Mama. We could try that.
No, we're not.
You
Just
like
for a
that?
certain group, right? So, yeah, we got
Some people would
Kings
be
coming
offended.
in, but Tara's gone when? She just, I already told you, I'm going to Tahoe. It's like,
When is that?
really, I remember that. It's like coming up, it's like, she's leaving Tuesday
Oh. Well, I didn't
and
know.
coming back Sunday late, so she's gone there. So,
Like,
just
here's
so
the
we know.
dates for now, Tuesday?
Yeah. So just so we know, but then, yeah, that next week is Mother's Day, so whatever we got to get planned, we better get planned.
Cool.
Do you
And
have-
this, we're doing EMI that day.
And then you
Right.
have that welcoming the Kings stuff that you like to put up for them.
Huh? Who you talking to?
Yeah. I didn't last year, I did the year before, but I think it'd be good to do it
Well, that's
again
right.
this year.
Yeah.
I just put a
You
thing
just
up
put a
on the
banner up.
screens and, yeah, we hung something on the door and then on the big screen on the TVs, we just had the Kings logo and just said Welcome Kings.
Cool.
The one year we went and got all kinds of like cereal bars and all that stuff. I'm not
You're not gonna do that.
But I think that last year we didn't do anything, but they brought stuff. I knew that there was.
Yeah.
No, I think that's
Tara
right.
might have done stuff. She was here
Yeah,
too.
that's true. But see, I might do that same thing. Just put stuff up on the screen just to walk
Yeah.
in.
I think it's good. I think it's warm and welcoming.
We were trying to be, it looks like the day Tara gets back.
On the
Yeah.
calendar there, it looks like they're
Sorry, put it
here
on there.
from the 6th to the 10th, and then the
Yes,
13th to the
13th
17th.
through 17th.
So the first 2 weeks of next month.
And then the parking
Yeah,
lots from when
AP
to when?
testing.
This Tuesday.
Tuesday to when?
Tuesday through Thursday.
Pila.
We're just.
Should we?
It's getting booked.
Hey,
We might want to talk to
That's
your
the
mom,
money.
dad, and Missy.
Can I come
and
cook some fish
move
at
the
your
safety
house?
meeting
Today?
down to Saturday.
today or tomorrow.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
What's that?
Plot. The plot thing.
Well,
Pila.
actually,
Parking
we're
lot.
gonna have to anyways.
Pila.
What?
So this
EMI.
coming Saturday is EMI here.
Okay.
So, but that's also a safety meeting day, so we're gonna need
Okay.
to bump it down a week to the 11th. Because then that will also make sure that the parking lot is completely done, because we're gonna start the parking lot this Tuesday.
Okay.
So I have to let your parents and Missy know that we're moving
Okay.
that down a week.
Are we gonna have the same lady?
Yeah.
Awesome. She's gonna
She
make
thought
us
she was cute.
stand up and wag
No,
our butts
you
again.
bark.
Also Derby Day Saturday.
I ain't barking.
Why not?
It's
Ain't
what-
barking.
Yeah, why aren't you
Come
barking?
at me, bro.
Yeah, I
You
would
just break out
refuse.
too.
I would refuse to do that too. It's
Barking?
weird. Yeah.
You didn't experience it.
Mm-mm.
For all the newbies,
I said there's no
You
way
get
I
to
could
do
sit
it.
still that long.
no, it's not easy.
And I've
She-
done. Well, I've done
it's-
the
Oh,
class
it was,
before.
it was
You have.
She
like sitting there. I was losing.
It's a lot to learn, but
Well, it's a lot
I
to
couldn't do
just
it
sit
again.
there.
Yeah.
Even
This is
Sheila
all-
was like shaking.
Okay, yeah, but that's Sheila. though. She's a
couldn't
busy
sit
guy.
still.
Yeah, she can. It's funny, this is the group that can't sit still.
She got up and made us wag our butts.
Wag your butt?
Like a
I
dog.
just said whack your butt at
You're not
first.
supposed to tell
Yeah.
Mom. She's supposed to have to do it, just
I
cool.
definitely am not coming if that's what you're doing.
See what you did? Alright, so you guys are on the 11th, cleanup days on the 18th, it's a busy month.
Mhm.
19th is Family Meal.
Yes, sirree.
That's on there, yeah.
Yeah, right there.
Week after Mother's Day.
Then you got Memorial Day weekend coming up, and that's gonna be, who knows what that'll be like.
Be wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. And then we're
The
gone.
race.
So it's probably a good segue before we actually get into Mother's Day, yo mama. We talked about June,
Yeah.
and then let's back up on Mother's Day. Because I don't think we have a firm idea there yet anyway.
Where Mother's Day?
Yeah, what are we gonna?
Well, I just think you make it a normal service and have a photo booth and then have gifts for all the moms.
It's
Yeah,
a
we
picture
try
thing,
to
yeah.
theoretically
Or
just do
the
it.
coffee for all the moms.
That's right.
Coffee bags.
Works for me.
And then
Nothing
whatever
super
else.
crazy.
Flowers maybe.
Okay.
Maybe flower
And there's
coffee bag.
probably a way to tie the and lesson
Oh yeah, easy.
and talk
Yeah.
about mommy.
I just think we just have like a Happy
Moms
Mother's
and
Day
dads.
graphic or something.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with that. All right, so June, why don't you go through June? Because we've already had the benefit of talking about some of that.
So we're thinking of in June, since my dad's not going to be here for one of the weeks, just kind of making like a whole thing out of it. So each week we'll have a different speaker. So
When
June.
the boss is away, the mice will play.
Yeah.
I like that.
He's going. We're gonna make a whole thing of it.
No, actually, this was, I was part of the idea. So,
I'm just
I was
kidding.
like, no, I know. And then it was like, I'm free.
Free month.
Hey, I'll take the whole
Except for
month
one
off.
day. So June 2nd, we're gonna have Terry Tripp come and speak, and then June, what is that?
What?
June 9th.
2, 9, 16 is Father's Day, 23rd and 30. So we
So-
got 5.
So June 9th, I was thinking either John or
Terry Tripp?
I think you should do Father's Day.
Terry Tripp?
I think you should do Father's Day.
Maybe I like
That's
it more
good
Father's
idea.
Day. I'm not following Terry Tripp.
So Mike Ward.
Gracious.
How do you
Hey,
feel?
Mike.
Follow Terry
How do you-
Tripp.
No, they none of them know who volunteered
How
them,
do you-
right?
Really that good?
Yeah,
He is. He did a beautiful job on the
He's-
sunrise service.
No, we're talking about Terry. Terry's average.
Yeah,
Everybody's afraid to
I
follow
thought it
him.
was pretty good.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
good.
want following.
He also does that for a living.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's okay. But for this group, I've noticed, and we've noticed this over years, they don't get enamored with the flashy people that come in.
Yeah.
They're more connected to the people that they know.
Yes,
Right.
Mike
So,
and John.
Mike and John, that's why you guys are critical to this thing. And John in particular, because I think, you know, you just have a way of connecting with people. I think you've moved into a different season in your ministry.
He just called
And-
you old.
Huh?
He just called you old. You're in a
No,
different season.
but
You're growing up.
he did Good Friday and he did a beautiful job. He just has this easy, loving way about him, and I think that's important that we see more of it. So
So Mike.
hopefully I sold it.
Mike's on
You
that?
have to just push him.
I think
Well,
I think he needs to.
yeah, you gotta push him.
I'll do
That's
Father.
right.
I would prefer to do Father's Day.
Oh, is it? So you'll be June 16th. Mike, if you would be so kind to do June 9th, that'd be awesome.
Why do we
Why
want?
don't you
Yeah,
go talk
right.
to my dad about that?
I think he's gonna pay you. What's his name?
And then
So
Terry will pay you.
Father's Day is the 18th. Or the 16th. whichever.
16th. Yeah.
And then we're gonna have Tia Arnold do the 23rd.
Yeah, we wanted to have a woman come in. We wanted to mix it up a little bit, inside, outside, male, female kind of thing. And she seemed to really connect with the ladies here.
Last time she
Yeah.
spoke, yeah.
So I was like, okay, so bring it back.
No, but she's
No.
on.
She's willing to come back.
And then the 30th, my dad will close it out.
I don't know, maybe not.
No,
So
you
we're-
I
are.
might still be on vacation.
No,
we're
you
not,
are.
Huh?
we're not doing like a specific theme then?
It'll be.
It's
Is
in-
each person allowed to do?
Here's what I'm thinking. Let me just tell you what I'm thinking and you can push on it. The topic is summer voices. And so one of the things I'd encourage everybody to do is get personal around, so what is your voice? When did you find it? How does God speak through you? And what message do you have to deliver? So it's, I think it can be broad enough, but what I would want people to do is connect with people. And find those, you know, just like those videos do, it becomes, hey, I can relate to you. I can relate to where you've been and what you've done. I can get to know you a little differently, and that can draw us together, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So that's
So it's a
the
theme,
that's
but
the
we're
lim-
still.
yes, you're free to shoot within that. How you do it, what you use as examples, all those things are up to you. Is that fair? I want feedback on that though. Does that feel reasonable?
I'm not sure I still understand what you want.
Okay, Mike.
Get that grin off your face.
He's being
Is
provocative.
Are
it
you
kind of like a
listening?
testimony a little bit?
I wouldn't want to call it that because I don't want you to do that.
No, it's about finding your voice and encouraging people to
Find theirs.
find their voice. And
Here's how I found mine. Here's what mine is.
Well, but I feel like a part of that is gonna be.
Yeah, testimony.
It can be.
It's gonna be wrapped around a little bit of your testimony.
It-
how
yes.
you found it.
Yeah.
So I think, and then for Father's Day, being a dad, for me, is like a major thing.
Absolutely.
So it's gonna be a bit of a testimony, I think, but I can understand how that would be tied into being able to talk about my voice and
Mhm.
that kind of thing. So I think there will be a piece, an element of that as far as it.
My,
Won't just be
my
stand out there
a
just
slow learner,
sharing
I
it,
don't
that's
understand
what
find
I'm
my voice. What is that? Can you like, sorry.
Like finding your
I'm
voice
not
in,
getting it.
I think,
Yeah, which,
in life and like.
yeah, I mean, everybody
You
at
don't
some
have one.
point gets to the
Maybe I
point
have
where you
one.
know your gift, you know what works for you, you know where sort of where your fit is, and you can tell people how you got there. How did I come to find who I am? Who am I? I'm a person that loves to laugh, and I just love to make people comfortable in their laughter. How did I find that? Well, through trial, because I've suffered and gone through a lot of pain. And where was God in that? Well, He actually revealed to me how you can turn those things around. And as a result of that, that has patterned my life. That's why I am the way I am, kind of thing.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
I think so.
Yeah, and it's a testimony, but it's sort of turning yourself inside out a little bit and saying, yeah, but who are you? Who are you? What motivates you? What gives you passion? What do you love to do? How do people see you and engage, how do you engage them? And why is that important relative to what people can learn about God?
If you did want one more person,
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm just gonna say I'm the obvious candidate.
Why is that?
You're,
Bull!
my balloon
Whenever
is
you
not
do
that high. My balloon is not that high.
Why? What's so important about you?
No, I'm not saying
I'll
me.
sprawl
No,
all
no.
over the
Oh,
place
who?
like I own the place.
Brittany.
Why?
Because he has been doing exactly what you guys are talking about on a one-on-one basis, helping
Okay.
people find their voice and building into them. He's said that, you know, people have been asking him when he's going to be teaching or some sort of speaking. And he said whenever they let me. So he's ready for it. If you guys wanted him to do like that 5th, and then you know, you come up with close afterwards. I don't know. That's just if you guys needed another voice up there, another unique voice, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's got crazy amounts of testimony being out on the street, being a lone wolf for so long. So, you know, just
Got
an
it.
idea.
Got it. Cool.
So,
Yeah, yeah, let me work on that. Because I'd want them to be in the fold a little bit more in terms of, does he get our vision? And I don't know, I'd have to talk to him. Does he get what we're trying to do?
yeah, I personally believe so, but I mean,
Yeah.
you can go test that better than I can.
Yeah, because I might start with a video with him to introduce, because the other thing I'd be concerned about, nobody knows him. It's like, he's just a random guy that comes on Sunday, that's not bad. But he's sort of moving into the body, which is good, and I'm glad to see him continue to come and be a part of the Bible study. It could be a way for people to get to know him, so I'm not averse to that.
Okay.
But it's good. Those are good thoughts. Anybody else in the body that I'm missing? I mean, just
I thought you were about to volunteer yourself, Caleb.
that's what I was
No.
thinking. That's why I was like,
No, not me.
you would have been another good opportunity. I do think there's a whole young people connection here that we can't miss.
Excuse me, can I suggest somebody?
No.
It's unfortunately she's not here, but I was thinking of Gail.
There's another rational thought.
Wow. Yeah.
Gail would
She's
actually.
gone through and where she's at.
Good thought.
She's trying to find herself too right now.
I know. So let's put her on the list, and I'll consider her as another good one. The other thing I like about her is she's been around for so long, she's
Yeah.
seen so much, she's got a lot of the history of the church. I mean, it's like a Joanne. Joanne went through seasons here.
Yeah.
And that's why when she spoke to it was like, whoa. And you could relate to the fact that, yeah, you went through a season where you didn't want to be in church.
Right.
You went through a season where you didn't want to listen to your parents. You went through and so it gave a little bit more history. So let me consider Gail. Gail would be another good one.
When I seen that was Jeff with the history, where we've been and where we're going.
Can
Is he a good speaker?
Can you get Jeff to talk to people? I know
See,
he won't in the
this is-
jungle room. He's
this is where-
back behind the scenes.
I'm with you.
He
That's why.
won't shut up in Sunday school class.
That's true.
That's more
He's
intimate.
a
I don't
good
think
dude.
we would talk in front of him.
Right,
See, it's a different kind of talking.
Yeah.
right. It is.
And so even for Brittany, I think it would be a challenge, but I gotta talk to him. Because you gotta have, key points to make, you gotta stay aligned with those things. There is some, extemporaneous speaking, but it's really
Jeff for a
aligned.
history lesson for a testimonial kind of thing.
I like that. He could be a good video. Now, you see where my brain is
He's
going?
talking about when you used to meet in upstairs
Yeah.
someplace down in Loveland or Blue Ash somewhere, and they take you through all the steps to where we got to here.
Somebody needs to do some videos.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing. If we have, not everybody's gonna get to speak until we have 3 or 4 services.
Right.
So we don't, that's a narrow window, and so anybody coming in thinking, well, when am I gonna get up in front of the congregation? Well, there's a few steps before you get there. Everybody should say amen. There's a few steps, and people gotta know you, you gotta know them. This is the kind of church where you really can't get up in front of people and wow them and it make a difference.
And not everybody's as eloquent that can keep going when there's, there's distractions. You do that really well, but so I've had to talk in front of people and I lose every train of thought, like my brain goes out.
You and Tara should handle
ADHD
I
or
don't know.
whatever it
That's
is
all right.
kicks in and
Everything you planned on saying,
you have like great intentions and great ideas and heart behind it,
Yeah.
but it comes out sounding like a retard. Like
it. No.
strike
I
that
don't-
from the record.
I don't believe that, but I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Right. But, so, yes, some of the people, and so I'm gonna take every one of the people you've recommended, and I'm either gonna talk to them and direct them either to, okay, let's get a video of you, talk about who you are, where you've been, what's been going on. I'm gonna shorten the list of who we're gonna put on the 5. Maybe I don't do one. I'm okay with that. If we add somebody to the June, but I don't do one and I just come in July. I'm okay with that. So let's think about that. And Logan and I and Tara will probably be the ones that manage through that. Okay?
Yeah, the thing I like about the people we have now is they've spoke before,
I know.
and it to me it makes more sense
Okay.
to have people that have spoke before.
I agree with that.
Kind of like you said, it's a familiar face, and I think there's a better way to intro in newer speakers.
Got it. Yes, and so yes, that's the answer. There's other ways to on-ramp people. I sent something around because Tara blew my socks off, and it's just we can't have a lust for the mic. The one thing you learn about preaching is if you lust for it, you lose it. It
Yep.
just doesn't work. And so you encourage people to, it's like when God tells you to get up there and speak, you speak. But a pulpit's different. It's not just getting up in front of people and talking. So people have to sort of be ready for it. You gotta have the right kind of balance
I
around what
think
it
that's
is you're
been
doing.
I
Is that
think
fair?
I think that was something that in the past that Living Word
Yes,
selling
it did.
fell victim to on a number of occasions where people stepped in and was pretty much just using the church as their own stepping stool
There's no
to
question.
propel themselves
Yeah.
and didn't have a heart for the church, but
No.
wanted to be up there in front of that
Just
mic, in
works
front of
me.
everybody. And yeah, so being very cautious with that is very important.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So it's not just my bias, but the other thing is I've seen it spiritually not work too. If your motivation's not right up there, and I'll warn everybody, if your motivation's not right getting up there, it's gonna work against you. I guarantee you. You'll get up there and something will go reverse of what you think it will because your motivation's not right. Doesn't make me perfect, but one of the things I really struggled with was getting up there because I was like, God, unless you tell me to do it, I'm not doing it. Once you tell me to do it, I won't stop doing it. But you gotta be the one saying that I should speak. I think we gotta hold that hard.
What about the special music we used to do during,
That was another place.
yeah, it's like anybody could get up
Yeah,
there.
it was just you do a special and you get to sing. I mean, I did one, so you could sort of
No,
say
but, but what I'm saying is that some people really have a desire to be up there and share, whether it's, the word or the word through music. So it can go haywire sometimes.
yes, because your motivation's not right.
Yeah.
And you think this is just a mic in front of a bunch of people and that's what you should be doing, and no, that's not what that is. So good, I'm glad we're on the same
Well, at least
page
not
on
in that forum. I mean,
It's not what you do.
yeah, if you have an opportunity or a venue by which people can, get up there and do
Yes.
that kind of thing, then that's
Yes.
different.
Like a talent show?
Yeah.
In the activity center.
Or just
No, or something, yeah, something.
or something where,
Separate, not
Yeah.
a Sunday morning,
Exactly.
not a church.
and that's what
Well,
I
and
mean.
that's hard for
And so,
people.
right, and Sunday morning is different.
It's sacred.
Yeah, and it's not,
It's not a trial run.
yeah, it's
Sunday
not
It's
the
not a trial
place,
run.
it's not the place to
not your
really
platform, right.
do that
So
without some preparation.
but we've never
Imagine
had
doing that.
another alternative, right? I mean,
No.
we've never had an on-ramp to sort of get you there. And even whether it's, joining Mike and teaching part of his class for a period of time. I mean, that's just the way you
It's
gotta
for
do it.
Everything.
So we're on the same page. So other than that, any other thoughts about June? So yeah, it's called Summer Voices, and it's just, connecting with people about your voice and God's voice in you and all that stuff. I think it's a good idea. I think we can brand it a little bit and communicate it that way. Why are you smiling?
I said, heck yeah.
Yeah, that's why Logan's excited about it.
It's gonna be sick.
No, I think it's
So Logan's
tremendous.
got the 5th Sunday?
Yeah, right.
Are there 5 that month?
There are
Yeah,
five.
that's what I was thinking. Dad just closes it out.
Nah, I'm liking Tahiti and not having to work in June. It's like, hope you guys are
I
doing
think
good.
I've traveled with you, it's not like that.
It's not like that.
Thanks, Angie, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's the worst to try.
So we'll see you on the 5th Sunday.
Right.
It'll probably seem like We'll probably see him on the 3rd.
She's funny. Yes, she has seen me, and yeah, that's true. So anyway.
So
But,
that would be, with that being the theme, that would be another good month to have some of those types of videos
It's just
prepared
right.
to play, maybe during offering and stuff like that. So it's, you've got the guest speakers, but then also
Mhm.
various
Okay.
videos of people
The church
throughout that
connection.
entire week
Mhm.
or that entire month.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
great. Now, what I don't want to do is force you into hey, we got to do this, because I think the beauty of what we're doing is it's organic. It's just like, hey, how about we talk to so and so and get a video? I think that's beautiful and spiritual. So you tell me as you pray about it. You tell me the level we go to on that. But I'm excited. I think it'll be fun too.
I mean, it's the time, the summer's the time to
That's
do
what
that
I'm-
kind of thing, I
right.
think.
I'm
And
absolutely.
it mixes
good.
it up for the rest of the year.
Mhm.
And that's how we promote it. It's like, okay, guys, because again, we've had an issue with people just not accepting people from the outside coming in and connecting with them. They don't connect with them. So now it's prepped. It's like, okay, so June's going to be some new people in front of you stirring some new stuff. So as long as I'm ready for that, then it's not.
But
It's
it's
not the same.
people you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the
People, but
thing.
people you know.
Right.
Yeah.
I like it.
And you've at least seen their face or heard their name, and it's
Right.
not like some random
Some
guy.
random dude.
Yeah,
Right.
or random girl. Like it just, I think it's important to have someone that people can connect to as well as gain something from.
So once we frame it, think about what Sunday you start to promote it. I know it's not this Sunday, but
No, it. I
in the
mean,
middle of May.
probably
Okay.
middle of May towards the end.
Okay.
I mean, because Terry will be the 2nd,
Mhm.
June 2nd. So that's the
She's
first.
got the calendar.
Mm.
It's up here.
If anything, we'll start promoting like the series and then maybe our first speaker or maybe the
Okay.
lineup. I don't know. I'll figure
Okay,
it out.
you got it. You
So-
got the ball.
Is Dad preaching on Father's Day?
No, John.
John is.
John Avery?
Yes.
Yeah, he-
Ooh, awesome.
the John.
John.
Hey.
John.
We know, well, I guess we do know what John.
Not John Aikman.
Well,
Right.
you were talking about
Oh, you did really good.
most of the, yeah, I just didn't know.
That's right.
So we're gonna be here the 9th, honey, but we're not gonna, well, we can't miss Father's Day.
Why not?
Um,
I'll still be a father. Doesn't matter.
Where are you
Scott.
at?
Deuces,
There.
kids, you're all grown.
Honest track?
I
You
figure
fine.
I'll be fine.
I think the motorcycle will be appropriate whole month. I mean, I'm gonna put some tattoos. And Tara said I can like lower my shirt and put a tuft of hair in it.
That's what,
Ew.
Yeah, I think
That's
we'll
I'm gonna
disgusting.
show up like this.
oh no, there's a reason.
Oh,
It is disgusting, but
take it out.
it makes a point.
Strike that from the record.
No, it's on film now, and it's true. It's gonna happen.
Oh, gross.
It will happen.
It won't be real hair.
It'll be some of hers.
Oh,
Put
that'd
some-
be
I'll put
extra
some
weird.
blonde
Cut up
down.
I don't like
I'll
this
cut up a
conversation.
wig or something.
Oh. Logan's tuning out. He's like, bye guys. My
Yeah,
parents are gross.
It's true.
you're embarrassing your son.
Yeah, guys, stop it.
Oh, right. They don't get,
Hey, it's
just in
called
case you wanna
payback,
know,
man.
millennials don't get embarrassed.
I'm a millennial.
Payback.
You're right on
I
that,
did
you
that
know,
on
you're right
I'm
on.
literally not a
It
millennial.
depends on what website
Oh,
you're
but you know what they say?
I'm Gen.
All
Like
the
for
young
business.
people after, right at the cusp of millennials are all conservatives now. They're like swinging back. It's just
Yeah.
like they're into
That's-
church.
But that's what
Can't,
They're
happens.
into intimacy with
Can't
God.
imagine why.
Yeah, because they've watched the mess,
Well,
right?
that's what happens.
Can't,
That's, I mean,
can't
that's,
imagine why.
it's very, it's typical though. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it
what
is.
happens.
It's the
When
pendulum.
you start paying attention to what's going on, and then that's when you flip.
Yeah, see, you
Tell me
millennials
somebody
messed
got
up
to pay a bill or
everybody.
two.
That too.
It was you
What's
guys.
that? They're all coming back to church. They're doing all kinds of stuff. So that's good. So we good with June? So June?
Gonna be sick.
It will be. Okay, EMI next week. Yes, it's a long day.
But
Maybe I'll
hold on.
talk to her about breaking it up a little bit differently, but maybe we'll exercise more or do some yoga.
Hold on a second
But-
though. CTS,
I know,
Yeah,
we
were
talked
just
about
talking
it.
about
Oh, okay.
switching it because they're doing the parking lot.
I think we
so-
should switch EMI. and not
No, it's on the calendar. We're doing it. There's no point in prolonging the agony.
They wanna
Well, that's because you guys
to
aren't used to
11th.
sitting.
I have
So I talked to mom and dad.
Huh?
Everybody loves
You
it.
do. It's
As long as it's like a rainy
Well,
day, then I
if
won't
nothing
care.
else,
It was so nice out that one
We
Saturday.
could do
Oh, we can pull the shades.
This
Like
one
you like
is-
it dark in the room.
This one is
One
speaking the
sanctuaries,
truth,
but it-
right?
Yes.
Speaking the truth.
This
This
one's
is
gonna-
This
Pretty
is an
important.
important
Was the
one.
parking
Yes,
lot?
that was
Or
what I was
the
gonna
parking lot next to
And
it?
so
Last time was
we
Thought that could be a
we
parking
may
lot.
want to
Oh,
personally-
take up most of the parking
This
lot.
one's an important.
I liked the last one. The last one was
So the last one was
That's okay.
really good. But again,
It's
it's
just
not
long.
the, yeah, but I think the groups are where the value is. It's when we're having interactions with each other about the topic, it's really what's cool.
unless you're in Landon's group
What?
and get nothing done. That's
What?
fine.
What were you
Who
doing?
led
No, I wasn't in. It was
Oh.
Glenn, Landon, Nick, and Joshua.
Oh,
They said all they did was make jokes,
Wasn't
and like
Glenn-
our group was like so serious.
Oh,
Well, don't be in that group. We'll do a test at the end. All right, so it's on, we want as many people to come as possible, not because it's such, rocket science, it's because we have to practice it. So, our encouragement is at least our whole core team should come.
What's the start time?
Same, 8:30.
8:30?
She'll probably do the same thing on facilitators, I'm guessing. So if you guys still want to be facilitators, so you're one of them, Gail was one of them, Glenn was one of them. So vote now whether you think you still want to do that.
Doesn't matter.
That was easy.
Logan said I was too serious.
Was he? Right. It's not that, right? So we're good. No pushback, we're good. Videos, I think we talked
wait a
about.
second.
Sorry?
I was just looking at those Saturdays, EMI, and then the next one is CTS, and then the 18th is that cleanup day. When is Derek's graduation age?
It's a Sunday night, it's the 19th.
Oh, shoot, that reminds me.
Graduation is the 19th on a
Uh-huh.
Sunday night?
Yep, 7 p.m.
That's a family meal day.
That's different.
Yeah, they
It's always
did,
been like
apparently they
in
did
the
some sort of
morning.
election thing. I don't know, I guess I missed the
Okay, So that
memo.
makes it easy, so it's the 19th, okay. So we'll probably do
It's on
this
the
party on
calendar.
like the 25th or something that following Saturday.
Will I be invited?
Does anybody know when Loveland graduation is?
Is that,
Who,
Is that-
Loveland?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Jeff
don't.
Coas wanted to know if they could
Do
have
they
a,
still have that thing a week ahead, like baccalaureate or something?
Yeah, the baccalaureate's on the 16th or 17th. I don't know, let me look at my calendar.
It's fine. I'll just ask.
I'm just trying to see when you and I will be out. I think we're still available those 3 Saturdays, the
Prom's,
4th,
prom's
and then
tonight.
CTS obviously, and
yeah, a
then
lot of them are
the
tonight.
cleanup day, I think for Derek.
The 26th.
His graduation is the 19th, I think we'll probably want to do his party that following Saturday, so, okay. I just want to make sure.
Good.
that we get
I
it
don't
done.
know.
Okay, yeah, that's what it's for.
Yeah, the baccalaureate's the 16th. It's at, Christ Church Mason.
Didn't they do it here one time?
And we don't have
I don't know if they did it at Rivers Crossing.
the
It
youth
wasn't up
ministry
there.
going right now, but
Yep.
we always have at graduation,
Yeah.
called the seniors up and acknowledge them, so,
So what's that,
it'd
the
probably be.
26th?
And what do you think as far as we
Yeah.
wouldn't want to do it on Mother's Day.
Jolie graduates that day, so, and it's at 1 o'clock.
What?
The 26th?
It might be the 26th would probably be the best day to do it, just because.
I
She
don't know.
graduates that day,
Yeah, but Jolie's graduation is that day at 1.
so
On
we
the
can't,
26th?
Yeah.
so we can't do that.
Or we
Do
could
June,
have- Or week after, okay, well,
can we do
Really?
like the Sunday, first Sunday in June? What's on that one?
We can do whatever we want, nothing.
Well, that's Terry.
Oh, that's right.
but I mean,
I mean,
Yeah,
I won't
definitely
put it
doesn't
up
make,
there.
yeah, it's just, we just
Yeah, it's up to
pray
you.
over them, so
I mean,
maybe that.
Jolie
maybe that-
probably won't even be here if she's graduating.
Well, since it's
because they-
1 o'clock, it's not in the evening, so I would bet that they would not be here.
They won't be here because they gotta be down at the
They
thing
can be
like
there
super
early,
early,
right.
yeah.
Well, I mean, at least I'm sure she won't be,
June 2nd.
Well, why wouldn't we do it the 19th?
because Derek graduates and you guys
I know,
won't.
but in the evening.
He's at
Yeah,
night,
it's-
7
it's
p.m.
in the
Oh, so
evening,
you guys will be at church probably.
Oh, yeah.
So we can do the 19th.
Yeah, he'll probably be running the camera.
Yeah, let's do it the 19th.
Okay.
Or lights or something,
Earlier?
yeah.
I think.
Okay.
Start to plan
We
for
just
it.
gotta get a list of Derek and
Julie.
Jolie, Alex,
Oh.
What about, Andrew, does he graduate this year?
I don't think he's a senior.
Okay.
Dan's on his way in, we can find out.
But I don't think, I think at the most he's a junior.
Okay.
Cool.
Hard to tell with homeschool kids.
I know, I was just gonna say that.
What?
Homeschool kids, you never know.
You never know,
True.
sometimes they
That's
graduate
true.
early, sometimes it takes them longer, you just don't.
Okay. Videos, we already talked about it. This idea of continuing to expand the number of people that tell their story on video. And we've had, a couple people were asked for it. I've asked a couple people to do them because I think it's important that people tell their story. So that was it. Just to remind people that, if you find people that have a great story that they should tell, whether it's for themselves or whether it's just an encouragement for the body, let's get them on a list of people that, opportunistically, when we get time, we can do them, or John can do them. Is that fair? Because I think it is a good thing to encourage people to do. Men's and women's, this is for the Embrace team. If you guys are gonna meet today, I think we wanna consider whether we wanna kick off a couple of groups.
Nah.
And if not, then there's tension building in a good way because people are feeling like, well, okay, let's move and let's get connected. And part of that connection piece is connecting with one another. And so we've had a number of people say, hey, it'd be great if we had a women's group to start to do some of this stuff that you're talking about on Sunday, Pastor. Or the men saying, hey, you know what, we do need a way of sort of sharing. I mean, I wouldn't call it that, but
What'd you say?
Book club.
yeah, but it's not a book club. It's
Well, what else would
we
you like
use
me to
we
call
use
it?
that's why I said don't call it a book club.
What else would you like me to call
It's
it?
a men's.
This is an egg drop helicopter situation.
It's not
Please
that.
I'm
don't.
just saying, if
Please
we don't
don't.
have a name for it, how else am I supposed to bring it up besides
men's group.
book club?
No.
Book
It's
club.
actually a men's group. You won't get them to a book club, but you'll get them to a men's group.
I love book clubs personally.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. I don't believe that one for a
I
second.
do.
But you do.
He loves thank you.
Books. I think you
So,
love
I would
books.
love a book club with my
The
friend.
boy who hated to read in school,
Anyway.
the boy who
the
hated to read and
men's
hated to
and
write in
women's-
school.
I know,
loves
that's
books.
a
That's God.
redemptive
That is
story.
God.
That's God.
All the
That's a
way.
redemptive story for sure.
That's
You
God.
should,
So
make
anyway.
you should make a video.
I know.
shouldn't.
You
You
should.
should do a video around that. There, he's on the list now. So anyway, men's and women's, because it is about men and women connecting across generations and with their genders. Because we've had more and more people that are saying, hey, I wish that was there. Whether it's a Joanne saying, hey, I'd love to hear from Appeal, or a Appeal saying, yeah, I really need to connect with a Sandra. I mean, we're getting that, it's bubbling up. So consider that, because I think time is moving in that direction.
Especially now that
Okay.
it's summer.
Huh?
Especially now that it's summer, almost
Well,
summer.
that's another opportunity, right? And it doesn't have to, we'll still have to frame what the groups are, just like in small groups, right? Everybody's gonna say, so what's the small group supposed to be? It's supposed to be a Bible study, it's supposed to be a book group. I mean, you're gonna have that conversation, but still, that cross-generational thing of men and women needs to be addressed, I think, in some way in the short term.
I mean, you could start with just a fellowship get-together kind of thing, and
And start reading a book.
then decide what it
What's your obsession?
looks like.
I
He
love a
is
good
obs-
book.
he is
Don't use
obsessed
obsessed, don't use obsession.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of mean.
He loves like reading
He does,
Like-
he's great.
books that pastors have written,
And we have a
So
book that we can start
insightful.
with as men, so. we have
he
a
started
couple
doing that
options.
when he was alone in LA.
You can join.
Dude, I was thinking about that the
You
other
can
day.
join
It's
Mike. He's already got a book club. He's been doing
Ooh.
it now.
That's the
on
Bible.
Sunday
It's a little
mornings.
different.
Oh, it's different, oh.
It's the book.
So
He's
anyway,
got a great
bland.
book club.
so anyway, that was I passed that ball, right? That ball is now passed. So let's sort of chew on it, pray about it, and see what God wants to do.
I mean, we could at least like get the ball
names.
rolling and get like a
A book club?
no, just get like some sort of identity for it. That way we can present
Yes.
it and then offer like sign-ups, and then if there's like 5 people that sign up, then we can kick it off with 5 people.
So is that, yeah, you guys, I mean, let's.
Yeah, the
generate
group
some
can
ideas.
start. I just need people who are willing to own the group,
Right.
because I ain't gonna do it.
I ain't gonna do it.
Well, I can own the men's group, I'm
Yeah.
fine with that.
How are you not going to do it? It's your book club.
No, he's he's gonna have the book club.
Yes, I will have.
I'm gonna have the men's group, he's gonna have the book club.
Yes, and I will have more people than mine.
Yeah, good luck with that. Everybody's gonna be like, I'm not gonna sit there and listen to a book club. So anyway, that's the end of that one. Signage, you wanna talk about that, Logan?
I was just thinking, would it make more sense for now when we get the building? Why are you smiling? Because you're the building guy.
See the building guy?
So would it make more sense? And obviously, it would be less expensive if we just had the people stencil the Sozo Loveland Church on the building for now when we got the building painted. And then as time goes on, we can look deeper into actual illuminated lettering and like go through the terrible process that's gonna be. And it's more expensive. I was just wondering if it would make more sense to, while they're up there painting, to just say, hey, could you stencil these letters on the building?
Yeah, but you know what? Not to interrupt, but we might be able to get away with that if it's
That's what I'm saying.
painted on the building
That's what I'm
and not.
saying.
Well,
We might not even have to get it.
It wouldn't be signage, it would be paint on the
Right.
building.
Right.
we had the debate about whether a banner was better, and the guy came back and said, no.
The banner, well, that's a little different.
I don't agree.
That's not part of the building,
I
though.
think anything that's visually different is gonna kick something off at some point. Whether it's whether it's stenciled on the building or whether it's a banner, they're gonna say, you're trying to do a sign. So, I'm just saying, I don't think they're different.
Yeah.
I don't think they're different.
I think they are.
Different.
I think as long as it's smaller than what was
Well, that's.
there before, you don't get in trouble.
Well,
If I
you
remember
wouldn't.
correctly from what Karen would say.
True.
And 4 letters isn't gonna, even
Oh,
if you
well, it's
make
gonna
it
be-
Well,
big.
but
It's
no,
gonna be
see,
more
their
than 4
idea
letters.
is,
It's
it's bigger,
bigger.
and there's
Bigger.
more.
There's more letters.
I guess the
I'm doing Sozo Loveland Church.
The easy thing though is if it's stenciled, if
You
they
just
do
paint
raise a
over
stake,
it.
you just come in and just,
Right.
yeah, just.
That's my
paint
idea.
over it.
That's what I'm thinking.
And for me, the banner was, take it down, right? I mean, we get
feel like-
latitude to put a banner up for like 30 days, and then
Paint
you
would
gotta take
be,
it down.
I think paint,
But go ahead,
adding it to the cost would be more cost effective.
good.
What if you put a banner
I
for
just
Cold
don't like
Bar?
what's going to put across the front.
Wait, what?
It just looks like a living word again.
No.
What?
It'll
The way
look
you had it
different.
all on there.
It would just be
It's like the
letters.
same thing.
It'll look different.
What if
Few
you went
different
from pole
letters.
to pole and put a banner?
Yeah, we couldn't even put banners across the pillars out
I'm
front.
talking pillars,
Yeah.
pillar to pillar, you can't put a
can't.
banner across there?
Mhm.
Well, this brings up another
I
question.
don't remember,
Where are
it
we at
was
with
a portion of
zoning
covering
issues?
part of the building or something. There was-
Apparently we're
Progress
nowhere.
on that?
still, yeah. I mean,
Somebody just sits around making rules.
I didn't hear what you said.
The
the
zoning,
No, it's a,
Zoning for
it's a giant, long process.
signage or?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
We
but
do,
it's-
we do
Bill
something
Karen
for
was crazy,
now.
but she really wasn't. when
So, I mean, it
stuff-
brings up a question as to whether we avoid it or not, I mean, right?
Okay.
Avoid what?
The process. I mean, at some point, you're gonna have to go through the process, so
Well, that's
somebody
what
might
I'm saying.
argue that waiting for that is probably not a good idea.
They just,
Just get
So-
it done.
I
they
like
just
the
don't.
idea of
Or
stenciling.
get it
I think
tried.
that
That's what I
sounds-
Just don't
think.
It
make
sounds
easy.
quaint and pretty.
Right, and then it at least gives us a church name for now, and then
Well-
if someone says anything, then we can talk to them. Then we
Well,
can
when
be
are
like,
we
well,
gonna,
wait a minute,
when
we're
are
a
we gonna
church.
paint? I mean, that's dependent upon when we're gonna paint, too.
They said fall.
Well, that depends on money.
Yeah.
Fair
So,
enough.
you know, there's a lot of ifs.
I mean, it's an idea, it's not a bad idea,
It's
this
a great
temporary signage thing is not a bad idea. The thing that we struggle with is whether it triggers something else, whether they're just gonna react, and whether that's detrimental to the actual process. The guy's point was, look, if you do that and they see that, and you're gonna try to get a signage thing done, they're gonna be ticked at you.
Not with paint.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think paint is, he
Not
was,
with
he was
paint, that's part
just
of the
talking about the
building.
banner.
Yeah.
The banner I think would be different, but the paint I think is like, dude, it's paint.
I'm still not convinced that if you're gonna paint a building, I mean, they're gonna react to it. I think they're gonna see that as a banner, paint, what difference does it make? You're trying to subvert the process by which you put signage up.
Probably should do it as a Christian church, do it on the up and up, and just see what they say about, in regards to, we have an idea about paint
Mhm.
being less invasive than a sign or a,
At least for now.
yeah, if you
I
present
like
it,
that.
if you
Process
present it that
going.
way, you're on the up and
Then it's
up, you're being
different.
honest about what you're wanting to do,
Uh-huh,
and.
I already
and
know what I'm gonna say to the people, to
Good.
the variance people.
so,
Okay.
yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Well, then
'Cause I think
let's-
if you
No,
try
I-
to get away with it, that's when they're gonna hate you.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't wanna get that, reputation.
Mhm.
If you're
Especially if we
trying
need
to-
them to work with us.
Well, and
Right.
you can't
in the
hide it.
future.
I think you're actually putting it on the building to be seen.
Mhm.
So, one guy has to drive by and be in the zoning board and you're in
Right.
trouble.
I think that,
So,
I think that joke moved.
yeah, but then if that's the case, I would not wait for the painting to get the zoning going. I would just,
Get started.
Kick it off.
Painful process.
I know, but to your point, it'll take a while,
Just,
so
just
let's-
for, just for clarity's sake, I know when we were talking about this before, there was 2 different things. There was a variance and a zoning. Are we saying that we're wanting to go to full blown, try to rezone, or are we still just talking that we're just trying to get a variance for the sign?
I think it's a variance.
I think it's
from
I think it's a variance.
And then we'll start the zoning process after the variance.
If we need to, I mean, it depends on what, I would say that we might need to change or go after the zoning piece, maybe after, I mean, maybe if we decide to do like a larger project, or we add something to the building,
Yeah, well, I
or,
get that.
but if we just need it for the sign, I think a variance would work.
Mhm.
And that's still a big, huge process?
I don't know, possibly not. It still has to go before a board and be voted on, but I don't think it has to go through the same process.
Right.
I have a question. From what I understood, that side of the street is a different county or township from
It
where
is.
we are.
It is.
So they operate under different rules, like At Home operates under different rules than we do.
Right.
But wouldn't we operate under the same rules as, the furniture store and the lighting store and all that up through there? Aren't they on the same
Except-
road as we are?
Except this is residential and that's commercial. That's the
That's-
difference. We are zoned
that's the
residential.
problem.
That's the major problem. So we're a business sitting in a residential zone. So,
And they
so that's why you'd have to
We're here for-
rezone, you'd have to rezone commercial to get those other
Is there
rules.
zoning papers anywhere that anybody can look at?
Oh, I don't know. What kind of zoning papers? Those zoning rules and regulations? Yeah, I
Or
don't
when it got rezoned, maybe how it got separated?
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought it was rezoned, but evidently in my talking to the people in Hamilton County, that we have always been residential, and that churches and schools are zoned residential for, there's a specific reason why. The thing that ties our hands is the fact that we're in Sims Township. So if we were just in Hamilton County, we wouldn't be dealing with a lot of the stuff that we deal with. Sims Township is the one that, they're the problem. They're the ones who have all the issues with the signage and all of that. So, because we're residential.
Yeah.
Could we
And-
go over their heads to the county?
They are, well, no, because now Hamilton County runs their zoning for them. So it is the biggest mess I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now, yeah, you have to go through Hamilton County, but Hamilton County follows their own rules, but in addition to that, then you've got the Sims Township layer of rules and restrictions on top of that. So it makes it very complicated.
So,
I'd vote just jump into the crap and get
you got
rezoned.
to, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's, now, I don't agree with the rezoning thing, cause that's a level of crap that's even deeper. I say we go after the variance now, right? Let's just go and see what it's gonna take and how painful it's gonna be, what the limitations are, cause that was still a question. And then if we don't think we can be successful with what we want to design and put in place, then, and you're never gonna get this rezoned. The chances of that are just like slim and none. Because if the pattern is already that churches and are
there's a
zoned
reason,
residential.
and it makes sense. It's so that it has something to do with like vacant buildings and they don't want things sitting in a neighborhood that become, I don't know,
Yeah, it's different.
whatever.
They don't want empty tractor trailers and stuff. I mean, you know, they're big heavy trucks and you don't want
Sure.
a trucking company moving in because it's commercial.
Sure, no, I
You know,
get
that
that.
kind of thing, it tears up the roads and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, no, I get that.
It's
They gotta do what they gotta do.
space.
But I think that painting the sign on the building
It's a good
could
step.
be a great alternative,
I agree.
or,
Sugar,
What?
I don't think you're gonna fake them out that way.
No, I'm
but
not
she's
saying fake
saying
'em out.
instead of lettering. for
I think
now-
that
Oh, you like that?
I think that would probably fly better than,
Illuminated
Yeah.
letters.
I don't buy it. But I'm okay. Let's go through the process. I'm not saying don't go.
I
through
I
the
say we
process.
start there. I say we start with, hey, what do
Oh,
you
I
think
get
about
that.
this?
Absolutely.
And then if they approve that, all we do is get a stencil up there, and then now we have placement. Or if we
Give
move
it a
down
shot.
the road and then are able to get illuminated letters, you just put the letters over what's already there.
Yeah, I
Or
think they're
paint over.
smarter than that, but
No, I'm saying you
With
get
approval,
approved
right.
the stencil, and then if we move down the road and we keep having conversations with them and they approve lettering, actual lettering, then all you do is put letters up there in the
let's see
place
how
of
it
the
goes.
stencil.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
But I think you start with something simple, something that can be easily taken down that they can see, and then if they approve it, then start there.
That's fine. Is Terry still doing that?
I mean,
Yeah,
I'll
I
probably
mean-
The question
have
of
to.
who's the.
I'll probably have to.
it's just every time I start it, I run into a brick wall, so the people only work, they're out in the field and you can only reach them before 7:30, and then you leave a message and then they call you back at 7 when you're not awake, or,
Okay.
you know, it's just a really dumb process.
Okay.
But maybe it's changed in 6 months, I don't know. I'm looking at some different things right now, so
Okay.
I'll start it and then maybe Logan can help, or.
Yeah, I would like to.
Okay.
It's
Good.
You definitely learn a lot.
All right. That's all the agenda. What time is it?
10:22.
10:22. Okay. You guys got a children's meeting coming up.
Yeah,
An embrace meeting coming up.
I do need to ask, you guys something about, so, oh, go
I
ahead.
don't know.
Yes, sir.
No.
Oh,
He put the thing up. I didn't know if he was wanting to say something about
Yeah. Why'd you put that up?
Why'd you put that?
Oh.
Up?
I didn't. Yeah. Right. Put it
Dude,
up.
seriously?
Give me that.
oh,
This is the soap we're gonna start putting in the bathroom.
That's not so.
It looks like soap, but it's the new series, and Logan wants to talk about it.
I don't.
Yeah, you do. But that's the new, branding, and so again, we're going to start another theme. The themes have been working well, I believe. People have sort of connected
Is that
up
a
with
face?
the themes,
That's Jesus. It's a statue.
and so that's the new one, and it's going to be coming up for the next few weeks,
Now that particular thing was made for a video we're doing, for a bumper video.
which is cool.
But then Dustin said you could use it for a property.
Yeah, for
project.
Can we make it bigger?
No.
is that where that came
I
from?
need a bigger one.
No, you don't.
He printed it
It's
on
a
his
perfect-
3D
Really? I
Where
don't?
are you gonna put it?
Really?
Where are you gonna
Really?
You
I
need
don't
like
need
a
one.
blue
Where you gonna
and
put
sign
it?
and
Should I just
that.
talk to him?
Where are you
Because
gonna
I
put
don't-
it?
I can ask Dustin how big I think his platform is like.
I figure he
Just
can
like
make
when
it.
they
I
went
need
on
a
the
bigger
scope.
one.
Your mom
Where are you gonna put it?
Wherever I want.
No.
Yeah, man. Put it on the table.
Yes.
That'll
And it can
that'll
be-
look good on the
A
table.
lot of
No,
people can't see it on
bigger
that
will
table.
look better.
Thank you.
You guys are
Bigger
Two to
will
wrong.
look
one.
better. Overruled.
All in
You guys
favor?
are wrong.
You're
Motion
wrong.
passed.
Sorry, buddy. You're wrong on that.
Anyway,
So-
so
You're
this
on
is
video.
the series.
Andrew,
Huh?
This
Hear me
is
out.
the series.
would this look better
She doesn't
on
have
the
a
table
vote.
or something bigger than that sitting on the table?
On what
where my-
table?
Where
The
my
one in
dad
the front where everybody
talks.
has to look far in order to see stuff.
You don't want to see
I
a
mean-
big bulky hand like that's
Well,
the perfect
bulky?
size.
How big are you, how big can you make it
He's
in one of
thinking
those?
big.
He
It
said,
is.
About that
Dustin's
big.
platform is, I think, like a 12 by 12, so like maybe about like that.
That's huge.
That's not huge.
bigger.
On
Well,
a
I feel
table.
like, have
On
you,
a table.
but when you think of like
When you're talking
production,
about- when you're talking
it
about
should
a
be bigger
prop.
as a prop.
A
To make a
prop
statement.
Is going to
Thank
look
you.
better.
Yeah, like this.
No.
Yeah,
So,
Like,
On
that's
your
too
coffee
small.
bar where somebody comes right up to
Subtle.
it, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Cause that's what you're used to, but
Yeah.
in theater and on a stage, it should be bigger.
This
Yes.
is not theater.
100%.
so,
They do stages on
This
it, so
isn't
they would know.
theater.
so, moving right along, that's the new branding, and
Just
we'll
saying.
move from there.
You're outnumbered.
That's for me.
All right, so what else we got? Anything else?
What you
We
can
got
put
a
on your
wrap.
coffee
What
bar,
do
it's
you guys-
cute.
We got a wrap.
I have
Actually,
a
it's great.
couple-
Coffee bar.
Calendar things. So, beginning Monday, May 6th, we've got the week of the 6th and
Kings.
the week of the 13th, right, we have Kings.
Yep.
So I just want to keep that in the front of our minds. They'll be here
And EMI's
Just
on Saturday.
just about every day at 7 to 7:30
Okay.
until about 3. There's nothing really besides letting them in and out and, you know, having the lights on and stuff. There isn't anything special that they need.
Okay.
But we do have the 2 Kids Are Kids graduations that same week on the
So we're
7th
doing them?
and the 9th. Yeah, you guys said you wanted to.
And you said you hadn't talked to them, so when are they?
And we don't have a form yet, you know, for them to fill out and bring in here
Is
to
that the one in
discuss.
Maine?
When are they?
Or in South Lebanon?
It's the one in Mainville and Mason. I don't know which one is which day, but it's their 2 locations.
What are they?
May 7th and May 9th. So I need,
It's a Tuesday and a Thursday.
yeah, so I need either Caleb or Andrew or Nell or somebody to,
If they want me to do it, they're gonna have to pay me.
yeah, yeah, it's not
My
free.
goodness, that's unreasonable.
No,
No, it's not, it's not, I mean, yeah, of course, no, I would never ask you to do
No,
that.
I think you should do it for free. It's community service. Don't you have some community service?
in your famous words, you don't have a vote. Yeah.
So if you could do the 7th and 9th, it's only, I mean, what was it last year? It was like an hour and a half. I mean, I think the first day is a little bit longer just because of the setup, but I think it's like an hour and a half.
When
2
we did
hours?
it last, I was there for several hours.
Were you?
helping-
Okay.
Helping them set up.
They are more needy than they say they are.
Yeah. So if they're gonna have me come in on Thursday, they're gonna have to make up for the lost wages.
Thursday? Yeah,
Because
okay.
Thursday is
It's
when I'm not
Tuesday
working
and-
nights.
Okay, it's Tuesday and Thursday.
Maybe you could ask one of the boys if they're available and aren't working. Would that work, Dan, or you could ask them, yeah.
Well, maybe you
Because
could
if
do
you're working, you can
Tuesday.
say you're working. You don't
Mhm.
have to lose wages.
Well, maybe you could do Tuesday and part of your job would just be to figure out, I mean, you already did it last year, so you already kind of know, but you could at least figure out what they need, and then maybe we could turn it over to Andrew the following week on Thursday.
So is there gonna be a
If you wanna give
conversation
it
with
up.
them ahead of time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think what John, was that one of the ones where you dropped the cable down? Cause they do have like a, I don't know, was it a PowerPoint? What was it? Do you remember?
It was a running video. They just had a video run.
But they
run
did it, like they
running.
they controlled it from
Yeah.
their computer.
Mhm.
So, do you think, would that be too much trouble to run a cable down? Or whatever it is that you do, I forget.
Possibly not, I just have to.
Can I have the silk, please?
Find out
What they need.
what exactly that they're gonna be doing and
Okay.
figure it out.
All right, I'll find out, and then if it doesn't make perfect sense to me, then maybe I'll text you or something. But yeah, they just ran it from the, I think somebody stood in the back and ran it from the back. And then they used one mic just so somebody could like call out the people, the kids,
Cool.
so.
It was, there were just ancillary things that they wanted to get done, so I wanna be careful.
What do you mean, like what?
That whole night, I was there part of it, and it was just like, can we do this, can we do that? They had a lot of other things they wanted.
Well, because they didn't say that they made it sound like they weren't gonna use anything.
Okay.
So now that we know
Mhm.
that that's what it is, I mean, it's not a lot of those little things.
Okay, I'm good.
It's kind of like what happened with the Russian choir when they came in and they told us nothing the last time, or the first time. This time it ran very smoothly because we had a better idea of what they wanted or what they needed, so.
Okay.
All right, so can you put that on your calendar for May 7th, and I'll get a time from her?
Yeah.
And then maybe do Thursday with a question mark, and then we can see if we can get someone else to cover that,
Mhm.
so you don't have to do it. Okay,
Cool.
all right, cool.
All right. Good.
Does anyone have any opposition to Jeff Coas having a get-together here for Joey after her graduation on Sunday the 26th? It would be later in the afternoon.
As long as he doesn't put any idols up and stuff.
All right, let me write that down, no idols.
Any idols.
Is that
Statues.
Memorial Day weekend?
Yes, it is. It's the Sunday before Memorial Day.
Oh, before?
It's when?
The Sunday before Memorial Day.
26, is it?
It's Memorial Day weekend.
26 is Memorial
26 is
Weekend.
Memorial Day weekend, but it's
That's
cool.
why I'm wondering why you're having graduations and stuff, that just didn't sound right to me, but.
Wait, what are you asking me?
What day is it, the 26th?
Yeah, the day,
26
Yeah,
is
it's Memorial Day weekend.
no, it's not the 27th, it's Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Memorial
it's
Day
a
weekend.
weekend.
Right. Yeah, the 26th
I have no problem with him being here at church.
on Sunday.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, okay. All right,
Yeah, that's race day.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know about that.
Cool. All right.
All right,
So we good? Calendar's updated.
yep,
It's 10:30.
all right,
Roll.
get some breakfast.
Grab some
guys.
breakfast and then roll to your other meetings.
What?
All that good stuff.
What's going on in here?
Oh, whatever, whoever takes it first. Whether the children's
Where do you
meeting or
guys
the
wanna go?
embrace meeting.
Wherever you say, boss.
I don't care.
You're in charge.
We can, I mean, we can go back in the jungle room, or we can,
Embrace is until 11, right?
we can go in the
Yeah,
activity
the
center.
embrace is at
I'm gonna have
11.
to go to the bathroom before you do
Is that 11 or until 11?
No, it starts at 11.
It starts at 11.
it. Coffee's hitting.
No, right here.
be done at 11. They are.
I was good in the jungle room.
You think so? Okay.
It seemed like that was
As long as that water's not on, 'cause
pretty
it